Yo,
Mikey, my boy, what's up, my man?
what's up, bro? How you been?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
We're gonna wait till a couple of people pop in this, and then we'll get started, my man.
All right, awesome.
All right,
Peep
sounds.
all the jerseys in the back, eh?
Oh, hey, dude, the setup is like the best part, bro. It took me all of like 5 minutes, bro. But, bro, I got the coat hangers. I put on like the little things. That's such a walk, bro. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, is that a Pulisic jersey in the back?
It is a Pulisic jersey in the back. Yes, sir. This is an American soccer podcast. So, all right.
I love it. I love it.
Peep the back, bro. No foreigners. You got the Tulsa.
Yeah,
And we got the Pulisic.
yeah.
Skill. No namer, but he's class. And
Bro, you need a Chappalear jersey up there, bro.
hey, dude, the setup almost crashed, bro. One sec. Just, one sec. All right, now. All right, yeah. So we need a Chappalear jersey up here, bro.
For sure.
Send it through, bro. Send it to the podcast, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, we got all of 4 people watching, so I guess I don't know, bro. We got 4 people. We got a bunch of people. 4 people. So we'll go with that, I guess, for now. And then
Awesome.
when people come flying in once they hear that, the hype's coming. So
All right, sounds good.
buy podcast stock right now, because I swear 50 cents a share, it'll be $1 million by the end of next week, bro. It's going all the way up. We got producer Paul on the phone too.
Yes, sir. Paul, my boy.
It's over, bro. It's over, bro. We're gonna snap, bro. I'm telling you. We got logos and everything too, so everyone better watch that. All right, so kind of a housekeeping thing for all you dedicated viewers. So we're gonna try to get this on Apple Podcasts, but like it's harder to get a U.S. passport than it is to put on the podcast app. So we'll see if we can figure that out. Producer Paul's hard at work with that, and then we'll try to put this on YouTube as well, unless it gets banned for some reason, which it probably will. But we'll see for the next week how this happens. So we're trying to do like our first couple on Instagram Live, like we're doing right now with Mikey, and then we're gonna try to do some more later, maybe through YouTube or Apple Podcast, God willing. So, but yeah, my boy, how you been?
Good, man. Good. We just had a long week of training, and today we have an off day, and tomorrow we're back at it doing fitness and conditioning and all that stuff.
All right, so just kind of introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are. Like, I of course I know who you are because I'm your biggest fan, Mikey. But some people may not know who you are.
Yeah. So my name is Mikey. I'm from Bluffton, South Carolina, and I've played academy, DA soccer. I've kind of done the whole jump from high school to DA to college soccer, and now I've landed at the University of Memphis, and I'm trying to take the jump to pro within the next few years.
What position are you, Mike?
I play attacking mid and right wing or left wing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a versatile attacker on our hands right now. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So kind of a basic layout of the podcast. We're gonna go over Mikey's past career, with DA and a couple other teams he's played for, and then it's called Story Time, by the way. So it's a pretty awesome, little title we got going on there. And then we're gonna have something called the beat test. So what the beat test is you got 5 questions to answer, Mikey. They're gonna get harder and harder. All right. So you can stop at any time. You'll look kind of weak if you stop on number 2, though, I'm gonna be honest. All right. And then after that, we're going to talk a little about like the future, about what everything holds for the future, and then we can go from there. So kind of first off, like most soccer podcasts talk about, so tell me what it was like a kid growing up in the U.S. playing soccer, and then you're going to respond like, yeah, I always had a ball at my feet, but we're not going to do that. We don't Producer Paul and I, bro, we said absolutely not. So we're going to get right into the thing people care about, all right? We're going to get into Tormenta FC, all right? So what age were you when you joined Tormenta FC, and kind of how did that happen?
All right, so Tormenta FC, before it was, formed into Tormenta, was actually called Storm Soccer Academy. It was SSA in Savannah, Georgia, and I started there when I was about 8 or 9, and I played there for a couple of seasons. And then when I was about 13 or 14, a man called Darren Ventasso came and took over kind of, and, put the money that we needed into it and called it Tormenta FC because we brought a USL 2 team. It was actually a PDL team at the time. And when whenever they came, I played for one more season, and sometimes we train with the PDL teams and whatnot. And now they have a USL championship team, I believe it is.
Okay.
And that's when I left to Atlanta United.
Okay. So who was your coach at Tormenta FC?
Started off being Ben Freakley, which was an amazing coach, phenomenal coach. He played at Georgia Southern himself, and then he coached, and I think he won a D2 national championship at VMI, and then they went D1, and then he was a coach there for a couple of years, and then came to Tormenta, and he was one of my all-time favorite coaches.
So he kind of helped you out between your transition between, that first club and then moving up to DA, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. He was a big part of me going to Atlanta.
Okay, for sure. So would you say you were one of the best players at Tormenta FC? How was the level compared to the other players?
Well, we kind of all grew up together, so we just always were competitive with each other, but I wouldn't say I was the best player, but I would say I was one of the best. There was a lot of talent. Like, we had a kid named James Brighton that plays soccer at Clemson, a kid named Alexis Jimenez that plays at College of Charleston. So there's a lot of talent on our team.
Right.
It was kind of just, spread it out, and you had to find a way to stand out the most. And my way was probably just being the energetic midfielder, fancy kid, flicking it over people. James was the goal scorer. Alexis was the assist. Like, we all had our roles to play.
Yeah, you had your role. You know your role. That's good. I love that, Mikey. And then you moved on to Atlanta United, my man. The £60 million transfer. How did that go?
So Atlanta United, it was pretty fun. Whenever I first got there, well, before I first got there, I was still playing with Tormenta, and I would go and I would practice with them and stuff. And this is the year that they won the national championship, so I'd go and practice with those players and whatnot. And then, because I agreed to finish off my season with Tormenta, and then the following year, I went to Atlanta United, and I moved in with a host family. So basically, it was crazy because my host family was the guy was a coach for Tormenta, and my dad played like Sunday League and stuff with him. So it was just a coincidence that he lived in East Cobb, Atlanta, So I moved in with him, and then I started playing with the U18s, and at the time I was 16, so I was one of the youngest on the team, if not the youngest on the team. And practices were going by and whatnot, and they would sometimes call us in to train with the first team, a couple players, so I'd be going in there 3 to 4 times a week, depending on, what their schedule was, if they had a game or whatever it is. And sometimes we'd go in there and we'd be dummies for them, and then sometimes we'd actually get to practice with them. But still being able to train with Almiron and Josef Martinez and Agby and all of them, it was life-changing for me because you get to see it firsthand and be with them and rub shoulders with them and stuff. So, that was the transition.
Yeah, that's kind of cool how you got to train with them first, because I know most DA players, they have to try out or they got coaches.
Yeah.
So you kind of, transitioned from Tormenta right into the Atlanta Academy. That's what that's kind of cool for you. So
for sure.
What's your favorite memory at Atlanta United?
My favorite memory?
Tell me Benz Stadium, bro.
You said, it'd probably have to be playing in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So this was the season, I believe, that it was first built, because before they played in Bobby Dodd, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when they told us it, I was just like, no way this is going to happen. There's no way that we're going to be the first team to play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then we get there, and we're scrimmaging the U16s, and, they've got the VAR, the refs, handing out yellow cards. It's like a real game, the fire, everything. It was so just, it was mind-blowing. Just being in the stadium and looking up is just wow.
Did you walk out with the kid?
No, we didn't walk out. We didn't walk out with a kid, but we walked out in lines with the refs and all that stuff, through the tunnels and all that.
That's so dope.
Yeah, just so fun.
How is the surface on there? I know it's turf. People complain.
Yeah, it's turf. It's actually it wasn't. I'm not a big fan of turf at all, but this was actually pretty good. It wasn't that bad.
Mikey, like I told producer Paul, bro, there's 2 kinds of people in this world, all right? There's people who hate turf, and then there's liars, bro. There's liars, bro. Everyone hates turf, bro. I don't know
Everybody.
why there's turf at Mercedes. It's a professional soccer team, bro. And they got turf on, they can't maintain grass in South Georgia, bro. I don't know what they're doing.
To be fair, because I asked myself the same question. I'm like, dude, this is $1 million, soccer team. They bring in amazing transfers, all that stuff, and they have turf. but it's because they share the stadium with the Falcons, you know, and it's going to be hard to manage putting in turf and then grass and then turf.
Here, Atlanta United right here. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly, bro, I have to agree with you on that one.
They literally sell out more stadium than the Falcons. So like,
yeah, for sure.
Priorities, man. This shouldn't be. That should have been the Wembley of the South, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, absolutely, bro. Every single weekend there was a game, and I remember there was for like 5-6 weeks straight. Every single weekend, they beat the MLS record of attendance. So like 1 week it was like it started like 40,000, then 50,000, and then I went to the game like one of the last games of the season for the actual season before playoffs, and it was like 80,000 people in the stadium, and I'm just like, what the heck? They crushed the MLS record. That's more than European attendance in games.
What did you say, Producer Paul?
What's the atmosphere like over there at the Atlanta Stadium, bro? Like,
oh my God,
out,
dude, it's.
Yeah, were there fans there when you played?
No, it was closed doors. It was closed doors. But the games itself are. Oh my goodness, I went to Portugal and I was with the Benfica Academy, and we went to a game, and it was just out of this world. Like, Benfica was crazy. Like, I never thought anything like that could be topped. And then when I went to Atlanta, and I went to that 80,000 fan game, and the fire after a goal, and the drums and the guitar smash and everything, Atlanta has the best atmosphere in the country, if not one of the top in the world.
That's crazy, man. And did you score at the game or what?
No, I had an assist, though.
You had an assist. Hey.
Yeah, an assist. It was a really close game.
Bro, that's already better than that guy. Right, so, what are some of the best players you played with at Atlanta Academy? Like you mentioned, you trained with Joseph and Miggy, but who are the other guys that you kind of came up with you in the academy?
Through the academy, I have to give a lot of credit to Andrew Carlton, just because it's Andrew. He's top class everywhere he goes. He's a phenomenal player. He might have his little downfalls and stuff, but like through all in all, he's one of the best players for my class, for the 2000 boys. Another player that I think is just going to have an Alphonso Davies story is going to be George Bello. I think playing with George Bello was just like, you can overplay a ball and he's still going to get to it, and it's just, he's very, very, he's a very good player, and he's young. He's like 15, 16 years old.
That kid was sprint, bro. Oh, God.
Do what?
Chris Gosselin.
Oh, Chris Gosselin, yeah. So Chris Gosselin played with us in the Winter DA Showcase in Bradenton, Florida, IMG, and dude, he's a monster, bro. I think he's one of the most underrated players out of all of them. Like, he does very well at keeping possession. He can ping the ball right, left. He can get the ball anywhere he wants it. Like, he's a phenomenal player. He's very, very underrated for sure.
And so, at your time in Atlanta, you had stints with the U.S. national team pool, right? So, how did they?
Oh, yeah, and before that.
Oh, before that. So, how did they contact you first? Do they send you like a carrier pigeon or what? Or they reach out to you on Twitter? Or...
So actually I was with the Region team. Are you familiar with the Region team is?
Yeah.
And it was at IMG.
Okay.
And the US national team was at IMG while we were there, and me and two other players got to get called in and trained with them for about 2-3 days, and that's what made us enter the pool. And me and those two other players are still in the pool, but with players our age, if you're not getting a homegrown contract, you're probably not going to get called into the pool, So I never really got to represent it as well as all the other players, represent the U.S. as well as the other players did.
What was the session like? Was it more tactical, more?
It starts off very tactical, yeah. We did like little cone drills and stuff like that, but mainly it was just scrimmaging, dude, which is very good, because it's a pool, You want to see who your best players are.
Exactly. So just a question following up on that. So, one day, hopefully, you get to make your, senior debut. Hopefully, God willing. So, see you there. But I've got a quick question for you. Would you rather get a cap for the senior men's national team or get verified on Instagram?
I think I'd rather get a cap on. I'd rather get a cap on the national team because the verification.
The blue tick, man.
I don't know, man. I think playing for my nation would probably be one of the biggest accomplishments.
By a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so a little. And then the blue tick's like a little down here.
A little bit, though.
Yeah.
after your time at Atlanta United, you kind of transitioned into college, right? So how did that work out? Like, how did you already have scouts, college scouts, looking at you? Did you have a lot of offers? How did that work? That whole process?
So when I was in Atlanta, I never really wanted to play college soccer. Like that was a big part of me going to Atlanta. Like I wanted to go and possibly get a homegrown or play for the team too or whatever. And it just didn't really go in favor as well
Right.
as I thought it was going to be with, like coaches changing and everything. So that was really my big part of not staying there along with a couple of other things. But like I think that I think that my decision to go to college was once I left Atlanta United and came home, and I realized like, okay, like maybe I can take a different route. And I,
Right.
I, I was recruited, yeah, I was highly recruited, but I didn't have any offers. Coming out of high school, I only had one offer, and that was USC Upstate, and that's the offer that I took. And it just so happened that that was my dad's college, and he was really good buddies with the coach. So it seemed like an amazing fit for me, like perfect. It seemed like oh, well, my dad didn't finish here, so I'm gonna come here and change the program history, da da da. But just didn't go too well. Things there just were not what I thought they were gonna be.
Yeah. So how did your first season look like there? What did it look like? Did you have a lot of goals and assists? Were you starting? How did that work out?
Yeah, I was a starter for sure. I was a starter. For the first 4 or 5 games of the season, I played with the flu, so I couldn't
Man,
really.
COVID before it was a thing, bro.
Right? Yeah, I had COVID, dude. It's like, yeah, no. So my first few games, I played with the flu, which was horrible. Every time I'd have to get subbed out just to drink some water and use the breathalyzer thing, all that, and it was horrible. And as the season went by, I started to catch a groove, and yeah, I got a couple assists. I bagged in, I think, 3 or 4 goals, but I had a good bit of assists. I don't remember my stats exactly, but yeah, we played some really good teams. We played Clemson, we played USC, we played Campbell, and all the big games that we played were probably my best games.
Really?
Yeah, so I had a decently good freshman season. I just didn't think me and the players and the coaching staff were on the same page, so it wasn't a good fit for me. Although I'm still in really good contact with a lot of the players and the coaches. Like it was no hard feelings. They understood why I needed to leave.
Did you score against the big teams or what, Mikey? How is it?
Yeah, so we scrimmaged College of Charleston, and at the time preseason they were top 40, and that was my first ever college goal. And I had a goal and an assist that game, and then there were other games that, like big games, like USC, we went to double overtime, 1-1, had the assist in that, and we could not get the dub. They scored on us, double overtime, yeah, we lost 2-1. So there were games where I was more of a playmaker than I was like a
Right.
goal or assist kind of guy, you know?
Right. Producer Paul, we need to check his stats too. So, pull up his stats, and then we'll see how he progresses throughout his career, man. We're gonna follow this kid until he makes it, bro. And then after UC Upstate, USC Upstate, you went to University of Memphis, where you are right now, bro. How did that work out? How did you transfer? Who did you talk to? How did
Yeah.
you get
Okay, so I entered the portal, and a big part of me not getting offers and stuff out of high school was because of my grades. In Atlanta, I did not focus on grades because, like I told you, I wasn't planning on playing college. So
Right.
I grinded my ass off in school as hard as I could, and I got a 3.3 GPA. And I entered the portal, and I think the reason why I got a lot of interest in the portal is because a lot of teams recognized my name, but when they would contact me, they'd be like, "Oh, this kid's grades are complete shit. Why would we offer him?" You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, as I entered the portal and teams started collectively coming, I probably got a good 25 interest in the portal, Division 1. And it was hard, like, having to, like, narrow them down because I only went on 2 visits, Georgia Southern and Memphis. But I did my research and everything, and I spoke to coaches and whatnot, and I did my reaching out to schools that I thought I'd fit at. And Aaron Osborne, which is a player that's on this team right now, I played club soccer with him growing up.
Okay.
And he was like, "Yo, you in the portal, da-da-da, like, contact our coach." So I contacted him, and they emailed back the next morning. And you know, we got it. Like, the reason why I was so interested in Memphis is because they were on it. Like, they were every day contacting me. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah.
How's your day? How's your parents? How's your brothers? Like, actually genuinely interested.
Exactly.
And, yeah, so I narrowed down my schools, and it was West Virginia, Penn State, and Memphis. And I came on my visit to Memphis, and I guess I jumped the gun. I did just get too excited about, like, oh, like, I have a school, like, you know, because I was never used to this recruiting process.
Yeah.
And I committed right then and there on the spot, and I texted the other coaches, like, I can't do that. Like, I'm not going to be attending your school. Like, I've committed and stuff. When a full ride's thrown in your face, it's hard to be like, nah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Before you progress to the next question, Mikey, your coach, Richard Maroon, you know that he's a San Jose Earthquake legend, right?
And Dynamo,
Yeah.
bro.
And a Dynamo legend. Let's not forget that.
Bad.
Yeah.
Like being coached under him.
I think that he's a very wise person. He knows what he's talking about. Obviously, he's a legend, so anything that he says, you kind of have to listen to and, you know, take it in your ear.
Ring, bro.
He's got an MLS ring. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's got Landon Donovan's number in his phone. They FaceTime all the time. Like, he's big time. He really is, you know. He's big time. So
Swipe that phone
he's
number.
your next interview, Landon Donovan.
Bad, bro. Bad. Hey, the cloud shoots up after that, bro. The cloud shoots up.
I hear you.
Memphis Tigers, bro. At least you got a good mascot, bro. We're over here at Tulsa. They name their stuff after like natural disasters and stuff. Like down in Oklahoma, bro. So
Yeah.
you got a good college going there, bro. And I'm happy that.
Yeah.
So what are kind of like your season aspirations? Like how many goals, how many assists you want to get this season?
So obviously, I played summer this year, which went very well. And coming into this season, I didn't know if the season was going to get canceled or not. So I was in good form. I was in good shape, and I wanted to get anywhere between 10 goals and 10 assists, like evening it out.
Yeah.
But the season got canceled, and I started to have back problems, which I'm still facing through now, and I have a X-ray and MRI next week. And so that's kind of been something slowing me down, but I'm being patient with it all, and I'm, you know, just putting it all in God's hands. But for next season, if we have a spring season, I'd still like to stay true to that 10 goal, 10 assists, stay around that area.
Okay, sounds good, Mikey. And what about the team? Like, how do you think you're going to make the tourney? What's the deal there?
Honestly, bro, I think I genuinely believe that we have one of the best attacks in the country. And I think it's going to be very slept on because, you know, we're not a Clemson or we're not a Wake Forest or anything, but I think we're going to be a team that's going to surprise a lot. Like, we have a lot of good players. We've got a kid from Vancouver that's a phenomenal soccer player, a kid from Greece that I believe is one of our best players on our team. We've got several DA players like Emmanuel, you know, Jovan. And I think that once we catch a groove, which you see parts of it at practice where we catch grooves, but once we catch a groove, I think it's going to be one of the teams that you can score 3 goals on us, but we're going to score 5 on y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
3 goals, though. We picked up those center backs, bro. What's going on?
Well, we basically have an all-new back line, so that's why I'm saying our attack is, like, up there, but our back line needs to catch a groove. But they will, though. Like, we have a lot of young players in the back line, but they'll catch a groove very soon.
Score on my Tulsa Golden Hurricane, though. That's all I'm saying, bro. All right, so that's kind of a background on Mikey, just kind of like the end of, you know, story time. Again, if you got a more creative name for that, we'd love to hear it because, you know, that's going to get, you know, trademarked in 2 seconds and we're going to get kicked off Apple Podcasts. So, but right now we're going to get into beep test, which is kind of a more fun segment. It's going to kind of put Mikey in an awkward position here. He's going to have to answer some pretty tough questions. So, Mikey, you ready, my man?
Yeah, man. Throw them at me.
All right, so I'm going to ask Mikey 5 questions, and they're progressively going to get harder. So you can choose when to stop, okay? You can choose when to stop. So I'm not forcing you, okay? There's no like, all right, so this is level 1, okay? This is starting out. This is baby food, okay? This is a layup, okay? So best 5-a-side team of players you've ever played with or against. And I'm going to put a rule to this, okay? Like in the MLS, you got 3 DPs. You got 3 designated players. So 3 of them can be professional, but 2 of them have to be college soccer players. Okay.
Okay.
So you can start from that and choose how you.
So,
like to
do I include myself in that?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Come on,
okay. Not.
Come on, you're a major, bro. You're the Richard Mulrooney, bro.
I got you. All right, I got you. So you said 3 could be professional that I played with.
Yeah, and then 2 college soccer players. Parent, Memphis, anything.
Okay, and it's 5-a-side. Okay, all right. So my 3 have to be from Atlanta: Joseph, Miggy, and Nagby.
Okay.
And then
Wow.
So we got the spiker and then the two cams. All right.
2 cams.
Okay.
Um,
Or if you want to play Nagby as a 6, I'll allow.
I mean, since it's 5-a-side, Nagby is a phenomenal defender. Like, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, when I tell you do one-on-one drills with him, you're not getting past him.
Yeah. And I heard you can't get the ball off him either.
Yeah, oh goodness, no, you can't. So I'd put him in the back. And then, you said college now, right? I'd put my teammate Alex, which is, he's a winger for us. I'd put him, because he's a hard worker. He'll get up and down, he'll pass the ball, he scores, like, he does it all. So I'll put him up there with Miggy, or with Josef. Put Miggy in the middle. And then a defender. One of my other teammates, Luke Biazzi, for sure. Because he's all over the place. You could put him anywhere, and he's a standout player.
All right.
So, yeah, that'd have to be my top 5.
Let's do the math here, Mikey. We got Josef, we got Miggy, we got Nagby, we got Alex, and then we got that defender, right?
Luke.
So, goalkeeper, bro.
You said 5-a-side. 5-a-side, there's no goalies.
No goalies? Are you kidding me? All right, bro. I
Wait.
know where you're playing. I know where you're playing, bro. Sao Paulo, bro, and you need to throw in a team, bro. You're gonna have that defender in your goal, bro? Nah, Mikey, man.
Bro, if we have to have a goalie, then I would take out one of the defenders and I'd put in a goalie.
Okay. So is it Nagby or that kid from Memphis you mentioned?
I mean, you can't take out a professional. Sorry, I'd have to take out the kid from Memphis, bro.
No.
All love.
All right, that's level 1. You progressed nicely. What's level 2 now? Level 2 is the worst college soccer field you have ever played on. Worst facilities, man. I'm talking the jungle, bro. I'm talking cow pastures, bro.
Radford University.
What is that?
Radford University. Paul, can we get a Google search on them, bro?
Radford University in the Big South Conference, bro. I went to their field, and I swear I was like, are we here to watch a high school game? Like, it was horrible, bro. It was so bad. And it was freezing, and it was
turf, bro.
right?
There, bro.
Honestly, bro.
All right. So that's a good answer. Radford University. My boy Paul's looking it up right now, so we'll get some more details for the next epi on that one. But
yeah.
Level 3 though. This is starting to get harder now, right? Start, bench, cut. So you have to start one, bench one, and then the other one's just gone, bro. And you're gonna have to be careful with this one because this is on like the headlines of like the New York Times, okay? So just be careful, bro. Miguel Almiron, Andrew Carlton, George Bello. Piss one off right now.
Piss one off?
Probably, bro. Unless you want to keep. I'm sure Miggy's not watching, so you could probably cut him, but. But be real.
I'm just gonna do this based on career, so I'd have to take Andrew off.
Okay.
I'd have to take off Andrew.
Who are you starting?
Almiron. He's in phenomenal form right now.
Yeah. Man's boosted my fantasy team last week. What about, and so by process elimination, you got Andrew on your bench. It's a good little spark off the bench. I respect it.
No. I'd off Andrew and I'd bench Bello. Bello's young and he's starting for Atlanta United and getting a lot of playing time. So that's.
I totally agree with you. Hey, when I'm playing a game right, I need Miguel Almiron to have that dynamism up top, right? And then George Bello, that kid is a Swiss Army knife, bro. You can put him at left back. If that kid gets his finishing up, bro, that's the next Alphonso Davies, man. I'm
absolutely, for sure.
And Andrew Carlton, obviously, awesome player, but I don't think I'd keep him on either, just because George Bello, freaking freak of nature.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, level 4, Mikey. Damn, you're killing these questions, man. Level 4, rank these coaches from first to worst. If you answer this, hats off, bro. Like, oh god.
Yeah.
Richard Mulrooney, Tata Martino, Tony Annan, and James Freakley. Rank them right now.
Richard Mulrooney has joined the chat.
Richard Mulrooney is watching this right now. Your season is done if you say someone other than Richard Mulrooney, bro.
All right, so
You don't have to answer this, Mike.
no, I can answer it because I'll answer it respectively. Like I'll give a just like I'll explain why. Oh, all right, so I can't put Tata first. I can't put him second or third, only because he was the first team coach, and when we spoke, it was more of like bueno, Mikey, bueno, kiss on the cheek, like like how's your family stuff. So he never really gave me like much soccer knowledge, So, and if we're basing it off of like who's been more of a impact for my career, I'd have to put him last, right? I'm gonna go last to first.
Hey, did Tata even speak English to you, man, or what? Or did he do like what?
He would try and speak English, but it's like broken, It's like really broken. It's like it's funny.
You gotta download iPad, bro. The Google Translate, bro.
Dude, they actually had a translator out there like every single session because there were a good bit of American players. But so yeah,
Nice.
I'd put Tata last.
Okay.
That's fourth, and then third. Third, I would have to say Tony Annan, just because Tony Annan was our academy director.
Yeah.
And he wasn't specifically my coach, but he was like the guy that brought me to Atlanta, and he was the guy that, did everything, rearranged it all, helped me with this, that, made sure my school was good. If I ever need anything, like when I was in the portal, he was helping me out, all that stuff.
Is he Atlanta United coach right now, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think because their other coach, I believe, left, and then now he's number one. Yeah, he's coach one.
Okay.
Yeah. And
top two.
My second coach would have to be Richard Mulrooney, just because I'm like almost a year under his belt. I still have a lot of things to learn under him. He is a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal coach. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he brings to the table, and he knows what kind of players he wants to recruit through this program. So I think that he's a good coach, but I haven't been under his belt enough for me to say like he's my all-time favorite coach.
Got you. I got you, my man. I respect it. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you put Tata first, my man. It was probably easy to put Tata first. Oh, he's coaching the Champions League. Nah,
Yeah.
man, stick with our American soccer.
Yeah.
Richard Mulrooney, manager of the year, bro. I'm calling him, bro.
I hear you. But yeah, first has to be Ben Freakley. He's my first ever club coach. I still talk to him to this day. He gives me the best advice, and he just knows the game, and he has a lot of connections, and if you ever need somebody to talk to and motivate you and keep your head in the game, he's the man.
Right. All right. So last question, Mikey, on the beep test. So we got level 5 right now. This is the hardest question.
Oh God.
I'm not gonna tear your locker room in half, bro. I could, bro. I could. Let's be honest, I could, but I'm not going to. Most overrated college player playing right now. Who is it? You can
on my team?
No, any college player. But if you play against them, that kid's probably gonna give you like a couple studs. But
Honestly, bro, I couldn't even answer that. I couldn't answer that because I can't answer that because that's a slap in the head, and I can't answer that one.
Hey, that's why it's level 5, Mikey. That's why it's level. Hey, it's respectful.
Yeah.
You got level 4, bro. Hey, that's
Yeah.
better than I thought you do, bro. I didn't think you would rank the coaches, bro. There's no way you rank the coaches.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard one. But yeah, I can't do that because mess around and I name somebody and we play them in the NCAA tournament and
100%.
I get a torn ACL. Like, no.
Dude, it's over for you, bro. That's what I'm saying. You could have joked around and said one of your teammates too. I'm sure that would have flown, but But that's an easy cop out. I'm glad you didn't take that. Well done, Mikey. Level 4. That's class. All right, so now we're gonna get into more of your future, more of college soccer players' future. So
Yeah.
So coming out of college, you got, the different tiers of college soccer player. You got the Daryl Dike's, the Chris Muellers that come out and are absolutely phenomenal. I knew Chris Mueller was going to be phenomenal, by the way. Turner's out the backs, like in and out, bro. That kid is class. But you have those top players, Andre Shinyashiki, and then you go down. You have the more utility players, your outside backs, your sub on sixes for like the 60th minute. And then you have what I call the refrigerator center backs, right? Because all these MLS coaches look at the stat sheet, see 6'4", 250 out of Michigan, and they're like, yeah, 6'4", 250 out of Stanford, yeah, they see the big names, the big players, and they'll probably draft them, right? And then and then at all the way in the bottom, you have your technical players. They do not get chances at the next level. I don't know why. Yeah. I think they should, but they just don't, right? So. Where do you see yourself in those categories? Do you think you're on, some level? Do you expect to be on some level? How's that for you?
So what exactly do you mean? Like where do I see myself, or just what level do I believe I'm on?
Yeah,
like
what level do you see yourself at? Like, are you a utility? Could you be a utility player? Are you more of a technical player? How do you think you'd be?
I think I'm more of a technical player. Like I'm a player that. I think my biggest thing on my game is I'm a player that can play a 90-minute game, and I'll be quiet for 75 minutes, and the last part of the game I could score 2 goals. Or in the beginning of the game I could score a goal, and for the rest of the game I could be quiet. It's being consistent.
And that's half the battle, too, because no MLS coach wants someone with no stamina, right, that can't last you the 90 minutes. Subbing off a player is the worst thing that you can ever do. If he's fit and he's playing well, why would you take him off the field, right?
Yeah.
If you have defenders are even more, it's even more crucial that you have fitness, right? Because no one wants to sub off a center back there, and you don't want to mess with that. Your outside two, they have to stay on the field, man. If they can stay on the field, you don't want to burn a sub on a right back when you're trying to fight for a game 75 minutes in. So you want maybe to sub someone out as a technical player. Maybe the technical player should be able to last 75, 80 minutes. But it's awesome that you can last 90 minutes because that gives you a lot more chances, to kind of progress in the future.
Absolutely.
So where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself more in USL? Do you want to make that jump to Europe early? Well, what's kind of the role for you there, Mikey?
I think as of right now, obviously I'm in college, so I can't necessarily speak on too many things, but I believe that within the next few years that I would like to take the jump to USL, maybe for a year or two.
Right.
And then use a couple of close connects and then take my jump to Europe. I'd like to take the jump to Europe young because if all fails, I can always come back to the USL or MLS. At least I had a career in Europe for a little bit,
Exactly.
So, but I think if I get to Europe, it's from there on, it's up to me. It's not, because there's places that you can go that, players could just meet their peak early and they just can't get past that. So I think I want to do 2 years, 3 years of USL just to get professional under my belt. And if MLS is a part of that, then MLS as well, 2, 3 years of MLS. But for sure going to Europe is 100%. That's I don't want to stay in the US. I don't.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a big thing because if you stay in the US as a USL player, there's a certain cap, right? There's $30,000, right? About, plus housing. So I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad gig, but it's a great stepping stone for maybe something else in Europe or something like the MLS or stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But no, that's great, Mikey. Is there anything else that that you think that anyone should know that coming through high school or coming through DA? Is there anything you would have changed differently? Anything you would have done to make yourself either more easily recruitable, stuff like that that kind of would have helped you more as a college soccer player?
Obviously, I would never take my journey back for anything. I think the journey that I've had has worked out very well for me. It's a lot of self-decisions and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think if I sat down, if I could sit down right now and go back, I think I would have joined DA at a younger age.
Okay.
I would have been a DA player straight out of middle school into high school, 9th grade, 10th, 11th, 12th, because at those times I was at a higher level than my high school peers.
Exactly.
I was a 9th grader competing with seniors and stuff, So I think I realized too late that I should have been a part of DA, and
Right.
that's probably something that I would have either already been a professional, or maybe I would have never had to go to USC Upstate. I could have came straight to Memphis, or to a bigger school or something. So I think just playing DA at a younger age could have helped. So that's probably the biggest advice that I could give myself.
All right, and I think going off of what you said earlier, I think the biggest thing for DA players and people that are trying to play college soccer now is, bro, you got to keep your grades up. Like, you got to.
Yeah, absolutely.
In America, that's the only thing. That's basically your only platform to get to the next level. And I know so many players that they're the most talented players in the world.
Yeah.
They fall through the cracks, bro. They just fall through the cracks because of the grades, man.
Absolutely.
You got to stay focused on your schoolwork. I know it sucks. They probably think that they're like the best player in the world because they're playing in the Sporting Kansas City Academy or the Atlanta Academy. But
yeah.
Let's be real. The biggest stepping stone is college soccer. It sucks, but that's how the way it is,
Yeah.
So you have to be really prolific with your academics, and you just gotta find out a way to balance that. So how do you balance your stuff right now, like in Memphis? Like, I know they work y'all's tail off. Like, what do y'all do? Do you focus on, like, do you have like tutors and stuff? Like,
Yeah. So we train 6 days a week, or 5-6 days a week, and so training is an overload. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of training. We do lift 2 times a week. For players like me that are facing a problem right now, you have to go in and get treatment. You have to, make sure you're healthy at all times and all that. So soccer itself is already, it's an overload. It's a lot being a student athlete.
right.
School, we have mentors. We have our little meetings on Zoom and stuff. And we do all of our stuff early in the morning. So me and the boys will wake up and have our meetings with our mentors and whatnot, and then we'll do all our schoolwork, and then we have the rest of the day for practice, hang out, whatever you want to do.
Right.
So I've got myself in a good little routine, and enough time to hang out with friends and talk to family and keep up with my parents and all that stuff. So I don't think it's too hard, but it's not for everybody. Put it like that.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing in the world.
They kill him here at Tulsa too, man. Like, I remember
Yeah.
I was in some finance class or something. Obviously, it doesn't matter, but I remember we had a bunch of student athletes come in. On the next day, they literally took a bus from Creighton overnight, and they had to take the same test I was taking. I had plenty of time to study, but those guys just, they're forced, bro. You have to make it's difficult balancing academics, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, that's a big thing, and that's something that's also awesome you touched on, Mikey. Hey, but bro, that's basically kind of the end of the whole interview thing. Hey, but let Producer Paul, bro.
What's up?
First game from during the spring season.
When's our first game?
Yeah.
When is the first?
I think our first game is like February 4th, I believe, because we have our break from November 24th to January 20th, I believe, something like that. January 20th. And then we come back.
When you
Huh?
throw this signal up, man. Shout out
Throw that signal up after I score?
Gloryhound podcast, bro. You got to shout us out, bro. We got to get the clout too, bro.
I got you.
All right, bro. Hey, if anyone else wants to come on, hey, feel free to shoot us a DM or send us an email. Producer Paul will check those for, any questions you'll have too, any comments.